Okay, let's talk business, you and I. Let's get into this. What is your favorite TV network? All right, when you were a child, what did you like to watch? We're trying to create something that way I can create more television series, more content for kids. It's the gateway drug. All right, it's addictive. It's what gets you into things like weed and smoking, alcohol, crack, cocaine, heroin, meth, amphetamines, mushrooms, all of that stuff. It's all a proven fact, guaranteed 100 bazillion%. So, I need to get a little information. I'm outsourcing here. I want to go through this tier list that I've created of the greatest kids TV networks that I could remember from my childhood, and you can tell me whether you agree or disagree. And from there, we are going to create big business, great business. Let's get started. We have about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I created this list, and I'm just remembering that we have 16 tiers here. Okay, from top to bottom, certified hood classics, the best of the best that we had to watch as children, the ones that we could not go without, the stuff that we are watching every day, no matter what happens. We have Pog 10, that's the good stuff. You know, the stuff that you're gonna watch. Then you have some solid Saturday cartoons. The cartoons that you watch on Saturday. You know, you have a free day as a kid, you're just hanging out, having a good old time, you flip on the television. These are the things that you're gonna watch. And then we have our fourth tier. The ones that you know, people would watch and they'd talk about it. Oh, I love this channel. You know, the nerds, right? The losers. And then we have the fifth tier, which is who? Huh? What? Who? What? I didn't know. You didn't know. What are they? We don't know. And then we have 07. Gone too soon. The ones that were classics when we were kids, but went away. Destroyed by capitalism, really. Dang that capitalism. That the working man never gets what he deserves. I don't know how that works, but that's what we'll say. And with that, we have about 15 different networks. I just looked up kids TV networks. First I looked up hot kids shows, but then that came up with some weird things, and so I changed it, and I came up and I found this. So I found a list of them, and I found, you know, a list of a bunch of popular kids shows. I picked all the ones that I could recognize, all the things I could see, and this is what I found. Let's start it off. Let's look at 4Kids TV. This one hit me hard when I heard it.
An all-new Sonic X is on 4Kids TV right now.
I remember this. I remember this so well. I loved watching Sonic X. It was sick. There was this blue hedgehog rat thing that ran really fast, and it was awesome. 4Kids was just a fantastic thing. And I want to call it the solid Saturday cartoons, because it was just a classic. I would wake up every Saturday to Saturday cartoons. Ooh, and that felt good to hear that man's voice scream at me, Sonic X is coming on right around. Or like, I don't know, whatever shows, Winx Club, maybe? Who knows? I loved it. I was a fan. I enjoyed it. So it's going on solid Saturday cartoons. Next we have ABC Kids. Now, I didn't watch ABC Kids, or so I thought. But then I went to look at it, and I remembered one thing that I don't know if you'll remember, but I remembered. And you see what I mean, maybe, is like, I remember this kind of big LED screen. I remember the opening and stuff like that, and I thought that was sick. I remembered that. But then you see what they're showing. That's so Raven, Hannah Montana, Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. As you can tell, it was just Disney runs. That's all that they did. It was just like Disney for like poor people, probably, so that some people could fill the void of their children not being able to watch Hannah Montana. That's all ABC was, which is cool. That's awesome. Love that. I love giving poor people great TV shows. That's awesome. That's a fundamental part of American society, and that's that everybody, no matter how rich or how poor, can watch Hannah Montana, Sweet Life Zack and Cody, and That's So Raven. Gotta give a little bit of credit to ABC Kids, but I've never seen it. So next up, we have Boomerang. Boomerang, I remember watching very much. I remember very specifically going to my grandfather's house, and he had in his basement, not a creepy kind of basement. It was furnished, well furnished. There was a pool table, a bar. Well, not a, because I wasn't drinking. It was really cool. We would do like cocaine and stuff. It was awesome. What I remember most specifically is with all the strippers, the cocaine and the drugs in the background, I would be in the foreground, right next to the stairs. I went down to the basement, and there was a couch with a bunch of toys next door and this big entertainment center with a little box TV in it that we would watch Boomerang on whenever I would visit my grandparents. It was just a place for like the old shows. The guy who steals the picnic baskets, and he's a big bear, and then he's got a little bear friend. There was the Flintstones, and then there was the Jetsons, which was essentially the Flintstones, but in the future. I love Boomerang. Boomerang was awesome to me. So I think it's a certified hood classic. Everybody was turning around in that basement to watch Boomerang with me. Next we have Cartoon Network. I was never really into Cartoon Network when I was very young. A classic. I remember like what? Ben 10 probably. See, I remember Ben 10. I remember watching Teen Titans, but like the original Teen Titans where they're like old and like hot. I was not an adult, so I'm allowed to say that speaking in past tense. Not few. You get what I mean. So like Cartoon Network was cool, but I wasn't into it as much. It's gonna go in Pog tent for me. That's for me. Next we have Disney XD. Disney XD was the cool older brother of Disney, right? That's what that was. Disney was the like little shrimp baby loser of like Disney, right? It was just like, here's Hannah Montana, sweet like Zach and Cody. You like that, right? Like that's cool. I get like good grades and stuff, and I perform well in school, and I'm straight edge. I don't do any drugs or anything, right? And Disney XD is like the cool Chad, like skateboarding bro. Just like what? Bro, this isn't even my first time smoking. Bro, I once drank a beer. Yeah, it was like super sick. Yeah, I didn't even like cough once. It was awesome actually. I actually like really love the taste of beer, and I've like totally drank it. And by the way, I have like 6 girlfriends, but they all go to different schools, so you wouldn't know of them. Disney XD's like that. He's got a lot of cool ideas, and I like where he's going. I like his vibe, and I like his cool leather jackets that he wears that aren't actually made of leather because his parents can't afford it. So Disney XD for me was very pog, very cool. And you'll notice one thing that I remember.
Yes.
Yes! I love the Yes. The Yes is a classic. That is ingrained in my mind. I heard that Yes when I was watching these like bumpers and IDs, whatever. I nearly cried. I had an emotional breakdown for a moment hearing that Yes for the first time in a while. Yes! I don't know, dude. I'm feeling myself right now. I love Disney XD Certified Good Classic. I don't care. You lose. I win. Disney Channel, also a certified hood classic, but for different reasons. I was the nerdy straight edge boy that wasn't cool. I looked up to the Disney XD cool skater boy, but I couldn't be him. I knew that. And that was okay. That was okay. I could be the cool, nerdy, straight edge loser who got all the good grades. Everybody was like, oh yeah, look at that kid. He's so cool, but like such a loser. Am I right? And I was okay with that. Because when I got home, I could go to the Disney Channel and I could watch Disney XD and whatever, and Disney Channel would be like, you're a loser, but that's okay because you'll be really cool, I promise. And look at where I am. Let's watch some. For this, I have the wands.
And you're watching Disney Channel.
She was my favorite. This girl was my favorite actually in Hannah Montana, and she ended up with the guy that I actually really liked in Hannah Montana, and I thought that was Pog, because actually the girls that like Hannah Montana got were like kind of like they weren't like super nice. They were always like and it was, and the other guy was like the little like he was like, oh, I like actually, but like and then they get together, and I was like, Pog. It's like the iCarly Sam thing. If you know what I mean, you know what I mean. Okay. Next we have Fox kids. I never watched it. If you watched it, you were probably too old and a loser. So I'm gonna go in the Who category. I didn't know what they were. Jetix. Like Jetix, but it's more like Jetix, kind of like EX, but like they spelled it with an IX. I don't really know what the naming of is meant to be, but it's PogChamp, and that's what really matters. It's a little guy with one eye that's in the shape of an X. They had Power Rangers, which, I mean, if you weren't watching that as a child, then you probably didn't enjoy your childhood, I imagine. Like, it's possible that you did, but it was probably like really sad because you never once wanted to be the Red Power Ranger, which is what everyone wanted. I always wanted blue because blue's my favorite color, especially when blue got his justice in one of the Power Rangers, because blue was actually the Red Ranger, but the Red Ranger didn't want to be the red, or but the blue didn't want to be the Red Ranger, so he actually became the Blue Ranger, and then the Red Ranger and the Blue Ranger kind of got into this like a disagreement because the Red Ranger was just like, I can't be the Red Ranger, or the Blue Ranger was just like, you have to be the Red Ranger, only you can be the Red Ranger. The Red Ranger is like, yeah, I guess you're right. And then it's like a whole thing. It's really cool. Pog. Jetix. See, and that's the same as the Disney's yes, and I'm pretty sure, in fact, I'm 1,000,000,000% certain that's where Disney gets their yes is from Jetix's Jetix. It's so good. Jetix is going in the Certified Hood Classic, but because Jetix is going in the Certified Hood Classic, I feel like I have to demote Disney a little bit, but put it ahead of Cartoon Network. Alright, and we're going to do a little bit of revamping here, because I want to put Boomerang behind those two. I feel like this is now more even. Because Disney Channel was great. Disney Channel was awesome. Probably the thing that I maybe even watched the most, but it was not the thing that I was the most excited to watch. And I think that's important. Because the things I was most excited to watch was Disney XD, Jetix, and Boomerang. Boomerang I watched the most. Jetix, I was like, this is awesome, I'm ready. And Disney XD, I felt kind of like a little, I felt like a bad boy when I was watching Disney XD. Then we have Warner Bros. Kids.
In 60 seconds and counting to Kids WB.
Which means, oh yeah, we're late.
I don't recognize any of this. Kids Co, I have no idea. Oh!
Incredible stories that spark your imagination.
Well, I mean, if it has a show where the teenagers turn into dinosaurs, well, I mean, I have to give them a little bit for that. Walt Disney. Okay, so it's a Disney show. Got it. Great. Awesome. Big Disney back at it again. Nat Geo's for losers and nerds. Of course, all the kids that are watching it are being bullied. So, pick your poison, right? You can watch it and learn, but be bullied, or you can watch something Pog, like Disney XD, but have, terrible trauma, right? Next we have Nickelodeon, which was an original intro to their show in like 1980, which sounds way too close to a slur. Just to make that clear, it was a bad call by them, by all means. I don't know how they got through to the team, or maybe if it did, but the team was, of course, all looked like me, so it was like, run that, let's go, let's get on with it, we want that to be there, but they got rid of it, and now it goes a little something like this. Classic, right? It's the same as the double arches of McDonald's. You gotta love the Nickelodeon. I'm loving it. Nickelodeon's just a good show. It had iCarly, Drake and Josh. Actually, it was definitely better than Disney. Nickelodeon I just like better. Nickelodeon felt like the nice middle for me, where I could be happy and comfortable smoking on that weed while drinking that lean. So Teletoon, I also didn't know about.
You can check out Teletoon.com for plenty of fun ways to keep your body and brain moving.
Disney XD, Jetix, Cartoon Network, this Teletoon, 4Kids. They just crushed this, like, really kind of like just super high energy. Like, I want to go outside and touch some grass right now. I want to go ahead. I want to lick a slide. I want to bite the rubber on a swing. I want to go out there and just play in the dirt. Like, that's how it made me feel after watching these shows. Is they just have this like super high energy, let's go type beat, and I love that. I love that so much. I love that now, and I loved it then. I smoke weed, and it's actually really cool type beat. So like, I don't know. I feel like I have to bump it up. Like, even though I didn't really know what it was, and I want to give it a who because I didn't, it's just so cool. It's so cool. I love that energy. Universal Kids. Duh. I mean, learning is so cringe, dude. I'm saying this, I was the person who did that. I was the person who watched Nat Geo. I was the person who watched the Universal Kids, right? I did that. I did that every weekend. I would go and watch Animal Planet or some garbage where they taught me about animals because I think animals are cool, and it's okay to think animals are cool, but understand that you're going to be made fun of for it. They're going to make fun of you. You are a loser, and that's okay. All right, Disney Channel has your back. They want you to do that, and that's all right. They also want you to not be a Jew, but that's in the past, all right? That's something we can forget about. PBS Kids is, of course, the last thing that we'll do. They have Super Y. That's a classic. They have Bernie, the purple cocaine-addicted dinosaur. That one's, of course, a classic. Everybody knows about that. Again, I told you, I liked animals. Honestly, actually, it would probably go in Silently Judged for those who watched. These are very different categories, but I think it would have to be in one of these two because either it's one, it's really good because you learned and it was Pog and you were a kid, or it was the other one because you did watch Wild Kratts when you were like 13 years old, and that's kind of cringe. But I like animals. And that's all I have to say for myself. Because I get it. I'm a loser. I know. I'm aware. It's fine. It's cool. It's fine. No, it's fine. Don't pity me. It's fine. Unless you want to. You can keep on doing it. No, I'm like ugly. Come on. No, I'm so ugly. Tell me I'm pretty. Tell me I'm good. Tell me I look good. Thank you. Yep, keep going. No, keep going. No, I'm not a loser. No, of course I'm not a loser. No, I'm actually really great. I have this quality and this quality. Thank you. Yes, keep going. 1, 3, 2, 1. Okay, you're good. This is where we end this beautiful story of ours. This deal that we have going on, our business, as we've been doing. And at the end, I would just like to give off, not the honorable mentions, but the ones that just couldn't make it all the way. You know, the ones that couldn't survive through the grit and grime that is the awful business that is children's content, or content for children. Just the absolute awful thing that is. Just forcing kids to do essentially child labor for other children to watch gleefully as they slowly watch the minds of children become degraded, so much so that in the future they can't help but not be able to function properly in society. So the ones that got cut out of that so sadly, too early on, the salutes go to them. Truly, they were gone too soon. And with that, I'm going to start with Cubo. A round of applause, please. Just to Cubo, and just respect to all of them out there who made Jane and the Dragon, a show that looks awful, was awful, but I loved. Adventures from the Book of Virtues, which you might have seen in school, that's possible. Maya and Miguel, I remember so well. Cyber Chase was amazing. Magic School Bus. These are the shows that you watched when you were in history class, when you were in health class, when they wanted to teach you something, but they were too lazy to teach it themselves. Dragon Tales. I don't know if any of you people remember these shows, but these shows were my childhood. This was the poor man's PBS Kids. Just hats off to Cubo. Good for that one. And with Cubo, this is the list. Or it would be, but there have been more cancellations, sadly. And I'm only going to mention the ones that I mostly, 1, remember, and 2, that I care about. JetX, and of course, 4Kids TV. So this, with everything, is my list. It's just the way that it goes. It's the way that it is. It's really sad, but it's the way it was meant to be. So just salutes out to all the shows that couldn't make it and were actually good. If you agree with it, that's awesome. Good for you. You're cool. You're cool. I'm cool. We're both cool. If you don't agree with it, that's fine. I mean, you're a little weird, but that's okay. It's alright, I guess. And just remember, if you're going to remember anything that came from this, if you're going to remember absolutely anything at all, just remember that and with that, I'll sign off. See you guys later. Bye.